I think one of the most damaging energies and toxic energies is shame. That we take responsibility for something we think we're inherently bad because something happened, and a lot of times it wasn't even something that we did, but we think that we're responsible. Or maybe we did do something, we just can't let it go, and we just feel guilty all the time. We just feel that we're not good enough, we're a bad person, we're unworthy of good things. Or maybe other people guilt us, and they're always telling us how bad we are at things and putting us down and never really shining the light on something positive, always focusing on the negative. So we just start thinking that way about ourselves. We feel ashamed of who we are. Well, my name is Arne Pedersen from Awareness and Health. I'm a mindfulness-based counseling hypnotherapist in Victoria, BC. I work with people online and in person and help them move through things like shame. I don't want you to live your life feeling ashamed of who you are. And I think with shame, it's important to understand it a little bit. That it's taking on the responsibility of something, not able to let it go and move forward. We need to learn to let things go to move forward. It's not always easy. And with shame, that's a very tricky place. That we might need some professional help to really create the safe space and have a professional to help us to move through, something that's just too hard to move through on our own. But today I want to help you with some tips and some things that could really help you to make some strides moving forward and to feel better about yourself. And so the thing with shame, if it's about just not feeling good about ourselves, feeling bad about something, taking responsibility. In a sense, we kind of take on the belief that we're a bad person and we don't deserve good things. And so, in a sense, the world just becomes an unsafe place. That we don't feel safe to be who we are. We don't feel, we want to hide who we are. We put ourselves down. We're never good enough. There's always something wrong with us, always something wrong with what's going on in life to us. So we have to create then safety. If we can create a safe space and we can start then cultivating self-acceptance, accepting who we are now, appreciating who we are now, we can start then to love ourselves. We can't love ourselves if we don't accept ourselves. And if we truly love ourselves and accept ourselves, shame falls away. Shame has nothing to really hold itself when we love ourselves. And shame is sort of a secretive, private thing that we don't really tell anybody about it. And so we just hold it in and it just builds up and builds up. So I want to talk about two things today. One is creating that safe space. I talk about this a lot, creating a space where we can sit and be with what we feel. But if we want to start to accept ourselves, that's really connected to our feelings. If we don't love our body or something about ourselves, we need to then go to the core deep inside and start working on that self-acceptance. And from there, then we can start working on the external, feeling better and better and making positive changes outside of ourselves. But starting from the core is important. Take time every day, a little bit in a safe space where you can be left undisturbed to practice feeling safe, being with what you feel. Go into your breathing and go into what you feel, the inner felt sensations in your body. This cultivates self-acceptance because if we can't be with what we feel, we can't accept ourselves. So being with what we feel, practicing physically being with the physical felt sensations in our body, we start to cultivate acceptance. And then we start to move through, emotions through our body and process them. And then we start to be able to accept life. So be with what you feel, practice in a safe space. Your mind will pull you away. It'll distract you over and over and over and pull you away. And your mind does that. Just keep bringing your attention back to what you feel in your body. Physical, a lot of bugs today. I just inhaled one there. Oh, wow. I don't know what that was, but I felt it. Luckily, I'm not coughing like crazy now. So cultivate that safe space. Practice daily. It takes time to build self-acceptance. And what you're also doing when you're taking that time for yourself to be with yourself, you're loving yourself. You're taking time for yourself. You're giving yourself attention, appreciation, acknowledgement, recognition. You're just practicing being with yourself, saying that you matter by taking that time. That is starting to heal that process of moving through shame. The other thing is self-boundaries. We take on a lot of guilt from other people. We think we're responsible for stuff, and particularly if we were shamed into things, if we were always told we were bad or we did a bad job or it was always our fault or you're never good enough, came from other people, then practicing learning self-boundaries is helpful, because then we can start to learn to separate out what is other people's stuff, what is other people's judgments, and from our stuff. We're not responsible for another person's internal environment. And what other people say, their judgments, their opinions, that's about them. They're somebody that judges. It's not about us. Okay, so as you sit, practice sitting down on the chair or feeling your back on the cushion or lying down on the yoga mat. Feel where your body ends and the chair begins, where your body ends and the cushion begins or the yoga mat begins. Cultivate that sense of where you end and something else begins, because that'll start to cultivate the ability to separate out your emotions from another person's emotions, which will then start to help you separate out and let go and not take on as much judgment and expectations from other people, because you'll be able to have that defined boundary where you are and where they are, where you end and they begin, and you'll be able to sense that's their stuff. And as you start doing this practice and building, cultivating self-acceptance and self-love, you'll start to build a confidence with what you feel, and you'll be able to do things better, more confidently, because you'll be able to handle challenging emotions that arise through the lack of self-beliefs that'll come up through doing things, putting yourself out there. So give this a try. Practice being with what you feel. Practice the boundaries of where you end and where other people begin, where other things begin, to separate out, letting go of taking on other people's judgments and expectations, and to let go of taking on other people's emotions. Sometimes we empathically pick up energy from other people. This will help with that as well. And so if you like this, I've gotten in the habit of recognizing if there's something I like, to appreciate it, to just take that second to hit the like button if I got something good from it. And so if you liked it, hit the like button, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video, and I hope you gained a lot from this video. It takes time to cultivate self-acceptance, so be patient and kind to yourself. So my name is Arne Pedersen, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day.